This is JR Osaka Station, one of the main gateways to travel across Kansai. And for many first-time visitors to Japan, this is also where things can start to feel a little overwhelming. Is Osaka Station the same as Umeda Station? Which train should you take for Kyoto, Kobe, Universal Studios Japan, or Kansai Airport? Where can you find coin lockers and ATMs? And which exit will make things easiest for your family? Osaka Station is extremely convenient, but it is also large, busy, and not always easy to understand at first glance. And when you are traveling with family, children, or large suitcases, taking the wrong line or the wrong exit can quickly turn into extra stress and wasted time. In this video, we will walk you through only the information that really matters using JR Osaka Station as your starting point. First, the difference between Osaka Station and Umeda Station. Next, how to get from Osaka Station to Kyoto, Kobe, USJ, and Kansai Airport. And finally, the practical things you may need right away, including JR Pass information, ATMs, coin lockers, luggage storage, and the best exit to use. You do not need to understand every part of Osaka Station. You only need the key points that will help you move through it smoothly, confidently, and with less stress. So let's get started. First, there is one thing you should understand right away. The biggest reason many travelers get confused at Osaka Station is that they assume Osaka Station and Umeda Station are the same place. This whole area is connected as one large transportation hub, so when you see it for the first time, it can feel like one giant station. But in reality, JR is Osaka Station, while the subway and private railway companies such as Hankyu and Hanshin use Umeda Station as a separate station. You can walk between them, but they are not the same station. They have different names, different train lines, and if you are transferring between them, you will need to leave one ticket gate and walk to the other. If you mix them up, transfers and meeting points can become much more complicated than they need to be. If you are traveling through this area using Osaka Station, the simplest approach is to treat JR Osaka Station as your main point of reference. The next important thing is which exit you use. Osaka Station is very large, and even within the same station, the exit you choose can make a big difference in how easy the rest of your trip will be. This matters even more if you are traveling with large suitcases, a stroller, or children. If you leave from the wrong side, you may end up walking much farther than expected. As a simple guide, Central Gate is useful for the shopping area. Midosuji Gate is convenient for transfers to the subway and private railways. Sakurabashi Gate is useful if you are heading towards nearby hotels. Of course, you do not need to memorize all of this right away. But just knowing that, at Osaka Station, the exit matters as much as the train line will make getting around much easier. So to keep it simple, remember these 2 points. JR Osaka Station and Umeda Station are not the same place, and the exit you choose can affect how smoothly you move afterward. If you keep those 2 things in mind, you will avoid a lot of confusion that first-time visitors often experience. Next, let's look at how to get from Osaka Station to the places travelers use most often: Kyoto, Kobe, Universal Studios Japan, and Kansai Airport. The important thing here is not try to memorize everything. At Osaka Station, you do not need to understand the entire station. You only need to know the right platform area and the right type of train for your destination. There are also English signs throughout the station, so as long as you follow those, you should be fine. First, let's look at Kyoto and Shin Osaka. For this direction, you will use the JR Kyoto line. Shin Osaka is only one stop from Osaka Station, so taking the first JR train that comes will be perfectly fine. If you're going all the way to Kyoto, you can stay on JR the entire way. The easiest and fastest option is the special rate bit. Next is Kobe, especially the Sannomiya area. For this direction, you will use the JR Kobe line. If you are heading to Kobe or Sannomiya, the most straightforward and convenient option is the special rate bit. You can also get there by rate bit, but if speed matters, the special rate bit is the better choice. The same direction also applies if you are going to Himeji. Although Himeji Station is also served by the Shinkansen, that would require going to Shin Osaka first and changing trains, and it will also cost more. Unless you have a specific reason to do that, the regular special rate bit is usually more than enough. Next is Universal Studios Japan, or USJ. To get to USJ from Osaka Station, the standard route is to take JR to Nishikujo and then transfer to the line for Universal City. There are some direct trains, but the easiest way to think about it is simply first Nishikujo, then Universal City. At Nishikujo, you can usually just get off and board the train on the opposite side of the platform, so the transfer is not especially difficult. And finally, let's look at Kansai Airport. From Osaka Station, there are two main options worth remembering: the Kansai Airport rate bit and the Haruka. The Kansai Airport rate bit is the standard option if you want to keep the cost down and travel easily. However, some of these trains split along the way, so if you are going to Kansai Airport, make sure to check the destination display carefully before boarding. The Haruka, on the other hand, is a limited express train for travelers who want a more comfortable and straightforward ride. If you have a lot of luggage, or if you simply want the airport transfer to feel easier and smoother, this may be the better option. There is one important thing to keep in mind though. At Osaka Station, the Haruka does not leave from the same area as the regular above-ground train platform. So if you head there expecting it to be in the usual place, it can be confusing. Be sure to follow the station signs carefully when making your way to the train. So for Kansai Airport, a simple way to think about it is this. If you want a more budget-friendly option, take the Kansai Airport rate bit. If you want a more comfortable and more straightforward option, take the Haruka. To keep all of this simple, here's a basic summary. For Kyoto, take the special rate bit on the JR Kyoto line. For Kobe, take the special rate bit or rate bit on the JR Kobe line. For USJ, go to Nishikujo and transfer for Universal City. For Kansai Airport, take either the Kansai Airport rate bit or the Haruka. If you remember those four patterns, you will be able to handle most of the tips travelers commonly make from Osaka Station. Next, let's look at the three practical things travelers often need as soon as they arrive at Osaka Station. The first is tickets and JR pass arrangement. The second is getting cash from an ATM. And the third is using coin lockers or luggage storage. If you need any of these, the easiest place to start is the Central Gate Ticket Gate. So let's walk through them in that order from the Central Gate. Right in front of you after leaving the Central Gate is the Midori no Madoguchi, the JR ticket office. This is where you can take care of JR Pass-related services and buy limited express tickets. That said, it is usually busy and it can get especially crowded in the evening. If you are in a hurry, it may be easier to handle this at another station instead. Next is cash and ATMs. There is an ATM inside the 7-Eleven on the opposite side from the ticket office. Inside the station, there is also another ATM before the Sakurabashi Gate Ticket Gate. Japan is becoming more cashless, but during a trip, there are still times when having cash is useful. It is a good idea to withdraw at least a small amount of when you arrive, especially for smaller shops and other situations where cash may be still helpful. And one of the most important things for many travelers is coin lockers and luggage storage. Moving through Osaka Station with large suitcases can be more tiring than it looks. If you are traveling with family, children, or a stroller, leaving your luggage first can make the rest of your trip much easier. First, go straight down the corridor next to the JL ticket office. At the end, you will find the coin lockers. If the lockers are full, or if you would rather use a staffed service for larger luggage, continue to the left. Along the way, you will pass restrooms and an ATM. If you keep going and turn left, you will find a staffed luggage storage service. So if you want to take care of both your luggage and your cash at the same time, this route may actually be the more convenient option. The key idea here is simple. When you arrive, try to take care of three things first: your tickets, your cash, and your luggage. If you do that before moving on, the rest of your travel and sightseeing will feel much easier. So far, we've covered the difference between Osaka Station and Umeda Station, how to get from Osaka Station to Kyoto, Kobe, USJ, and Kansai Airport, and the three important things to take care of right after you arrive. Osaka Station is definitely large and it can feel a little overwhelming the first time. But you do not need to understand all of it. You just need to choose the right line for your destination, use the right exit, and take care of your tickets, cash, and luggage before moving on. If you do that, the start of your trip will be much smoother. And if this video runs you with questions, feel free to ask in the comments. For example, what is the best route for the place you are actually trying to reach? If you are going on to Kyoto or Kobe, what is the most efficient order for your trip? What is the best way to move around if you have a stroller or large luggage? If you leave a comment, we will do our best to answer as clearly as possible. And if there is enough interest, we will also make more videos on places like Shin Osaka, Namba, Kyoto Station, and Kansai Airport. We also offer custom travel planning and fully private guiding services. If you would like help creating a Kansai itinerary that fits your family, if you want a plan that feels easier and more comfortable with children, or if you would prefer a private guide to help you make the most of your time, please feel free to contact us through the website linked in the description. We hope you enjoy your time in Kansai, and we'll see you in the next video.